Welcome everyone to another exciting adventure on Riding Through the Unknown. I'm your host, Michael, and joining me today is a guest extraordinaire who is constantly impressing the hell out of me with everything that she's doing. And so I am so honored and blessed to have her on again to promote an event that is coming up not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. And so, without further ado, I give you the one, the only dragon extraordinaire, Gina Virginia Casella.
Well, thank you, Dragon Dreamer Michael. I appreciate that introduction. It's good to be back hanging out with your soul tribe, folks from Riding Through the Unknown and the energy that surrounds us. I'm always grateful to be on your show. And I was just telling Michael, my day so far has been very back to back because I just finished making 5 little mini videos for the 5 breaks that we're going to have next Saturday for summer days. So those of you who know me know that I like to be very organized. And we had such an amazing outcome with the first conference ever, Promise of Spring. Lots of compliments about the fluidity of the day, the schedule, the demeanor of the presenters. Really can't say enough about it. And Michael, of course, was one of our Dragon speakers last time. This time returning for summer days, not as a speaker. He asked me, but I said we had to change it up a bit. So Michael is returning behind the scenes as one of our Dragon monitors, helping out with technology. And also, you know what? I'm one of those people, I share a lot of my life. And when you follow me on Buy Me a Coffee, you get in on the extras. And one of those extra tidbits of information is that Michael is going to be helping me create some mini movies. And so really appreciate that. And the first 2 mini movies are going to be released at the conference, summer days. So nobody's going to see them. And so I completed Lushing, my first movie ever. It's scary. I don't watch scary movies. What am I doing creating a scary movie? And honestly, it's like messing with my head, like even though I created it, because I spent so much time. I'm a newbie amateur, by the way, at movie making, but I spent so much time looking for images and playing around with the AI and putting it together. And then as I was going through these motions, I thought, this image is kind of scary looking. Do I really want that in my video? And there's no blood or guts or gore. But it's this business of intruders, right? So you can listen to the audio on Lushing. It's on my playlist. Or you can visit my Buy Me a Coffee because I post on there pretty much every day. And recently I've been posting audios that I feel like folks out there might be interested in. So the big idea is that these mini movies are going to be part of the medicine, because we are a story species. Stories, that's our medicine, right? Moving from, like Dr. Viette says, from medication to meditation. And I'm really big on transforming trauma into treasure. And so I like working with these one-liners because they're not cliches. We heal with the earth. We heal with each other. We are the earth. So I know Michael's heard me say this a million times, and those of you who follow Michael as well have seen me on the show speak to story species, story medicine, our biology of belief. And it's true. We're Mother Earths in our own right. Even if you are a very hardcore masculine, you're still a Pachamama. And each of us are walking, talking trees. We heal with the land. So a classic example, healing with the earth after a day, doesn't matter, positive, negative, indifferent. You go in the shower, you wash off the day. You could take it to another level, go stand in the river and imagine goddesses in the water helping to cleanse and carry away whatever toxins need to be carried away. So I have a strong spiritual side. And this morning I really enjoyed doing some shamanic work. It's just a life high thrill for me. And then, of course, making those videos. We've got our live rehearsal this Saturday. So everybody's going to be able, you don't need a ticket to come to the live rehearsal. Nobody's going to be presenting or anything like that, but it's always a joy to see other Dragon Dreamers in the chat. And Michael, of course, will be there too. So sorry, riding through the unknown, people. Michael's going to be behind the scenes, but come on over and say hi to Michael on Saturday. Julia will be there as well, Anchor Haven, and of course, Jason H. And speaking of Jason H., Michael and I are going to be making the mini movies, and at this time anyways, the big idea is that Jason H will brush them up. So like I said, when you follow me, you get in on this kind of stuff, right? So Jason H, those of you who are not familiar with him, he's better known as Missing Time 420. And he monitors a lot. He's passionate about esoteric literature, spirits, secret space programs. So Missing Time 420, that's Jason H. And about a year ago, when I wanted to make movies, I just got a lot of negativity. So this year, finally, people are like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. And the wheels are rolling. And so it's a testament to being in right relationship, being with the right Pachamamas, and me too, a Pachamama, and timing is everything. So for whatever reasons, this year, 2026, the year of the horse is really, I can sense that stallion running wild and free energy within me. And so Jason H, being the professional that he is, because he has a professional background in film and cinematography. Me, I'm a total amateur here. So I feel like I'm rushing the movie making, and Jason H really wants to put the time in it. So Michael and I are going to collaborate just to get the mini movie medicine out. Lots of glimpses. So 2 to look forward to for Promise of Spring. And then after Promise of Spring, when we have a little bit more time, Michael and I were just collecting tons of images, little videos. If you want to help us, reach out. And then Jason H will help to transform that, make it look more professional and add a lot more quality to it. So,
Okay.
so go ahead.
I was just going to point out, because you were talking about this year in numerology, it comes out to being a 1 because of it being adding up to 10.
Oh.
It's a year of new beginnings is a 1. So there you go.
I didn't even think about that. That is phenomenal synchronicity, because last year was the year of the snake. So when I was just talking about the timing of things, even though last year I got a lot of backlash, even if somebody wanted to help me, I don't think it would have worked out, because even myself still releasing snake skins. I think last year, the year of the snake, was the big one, right, for everybody.
Right.
And now this year, the year of the horse and the greater oneness and the dragons, that's really meaningful to me. I can sense my mind going in a direction where I'm going to meditate on that more. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and 9 is the completion cycle. So it's like the ending, and then the next year is the new beginning. So it's like we finished what we needed to finish last year, and this year we're starting anew and kind of brushed the ash off and hit the floor running, especially you.
I know that, but I forgot about that. I used to be more in tune with numerology, and then I started shifting towards the moon cycle, and I forgot that 9 is completion, because last year was like the end of my old matrix. And so this year is like, we're in full effect now, 2026. Is my life perfect? No. Is it ever going to be? No. But is it going to be perfect for me? Yes. And carrying all those lessons forward. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And, as you talk about perfect, something that I've learned and lived the mantra of is perfection is attainable, because perfection is seeing something flawed, accepting the flaws as they are, meaning, individuals, you could say, accepting them as they are. And that's perfection. You're not wanting to change them. You're not, upset by anything about anything. You just see them as they are, and that's the perfect way we're supposed to be. And so that to me is, when I hear people talk about perfection, I'm like, yeah, you're accepting the flaws in everything and seeing beyond the flaws to the real whatever it is that we're referencing. And so just thought I'd share that with you.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you. Uh, Behind the scenes, Michael and I chat away, but then when I go live, it's like a lot of promotion talk, right? And so it's nice just to kind of shift it and have other kind of talk too, because there's so much to say. And when you were speaking, I thought about duality because it's so in my face, like imperfection is perfection. Like, what? Perfection is imperfection. You must fall in order to rise. You must rise in order to fall. And so I like
Well,
that. And you know what? Speaking of perfection, going back to the conference, um, people might not realize it out there listening, but the presenters who are preparing for the conference, as the administrator of the conference, I always ask for everything 1 week in advance because that to me is just a healthy habit. It gives your brain time to digest. And the best case scenario is next week, all you got to worry about is staying hydrated and planning out your snacks for the big day. That's my style, you know. But this round, just like the last round, not every presenter is just ready to present. And so the reason for this is because the actual preparing of the presentation is a healing process in itself. And you would be surprised behind the scenes, the amount of tears and frustrations, just the emotions that the presenters are going through, because this is their medicine. And for most of the presenters, including Promise of Spring, just like this one, Summer Days, it's their first time sharing their story in this type of formal setting. So all the presenters, like Michael, they're typically, you see them all the time live chit-chatting away, and you think to yourself, well, what's the big deal? They're always sharing their story medicine. Well, the big deal is when you have a structured day and a conference where there's a beginning, a middle, an end, and someone like me plays the role of the timekeeper, you don't get to just talk about whatever. It needs to have focus, and the focus is always coming back on you. And your mind's number one job is to protect you, even if it means lying to you. And so it's interesting because some of the presenters, their mind wants to protect them. They want to do other things like channeling. No, that's not what you're doing at the conference. You are speaking about you. Oh, well, maybe I'll provide this kind of healing. No, you're not. That's not what we're doing. Well, maybe I'll talk about no. So I really want to say how proud I am of the presenters for shining their light, because I was just sharing with multiple presenters the past few days that I remember exactly what it's like to be big time ugly crying, figuring out my presentation, even though I knew exactly what I wanted to say, even though I wrote it all out, but that anticipation of actually having a designated timestamp where I would be sharing my story, shining my light, where it would be completely quiet and just spotlight on me. I get goosebumps thinking about it, is quite powerful. And it's powerful because it adds the coherence. It's one thing to think it, but now you're speaking it, saying it out loud. And this healing, it's providing self-healing for the presenters. It's like for their own self-healing. They're providing each other with healing because they realize each of them are going through these motions. And some of them hide it better than others, right? And I know everybody out there's thinking, well, of course, this person and that person isn't going through those motions. Yes, they are, all of them, even the ones from Promise of Spring. And so it's such a great privilege and honor to be the administrator behind the scenes, helping out the presenters. One presenter and I totally helped her with her PowerPoint presentation. It was no problem. Everybody comes from different backgrounds, different experiences. And me carrying my high quality items forward from my teaching career, it's a real joy and delight to help out with stuff like that, you know? And then that gets turned around, like Michael and Jason H helping me with the movie making, where I have like zero experience with that. And so it's a really special day. It's not just a day where, you know, people are talking and it's a regular show. No. This is a highly structured day. I have a schedule if you want to go over it. And I got a little slideshow. I showed it last time I was here. And I told Michael that today, given that I showed it last time, I would just kind of slide through it quickly and show you the highlights. So this is really special to me. And there's a lot of interconnected stories. This is all part of my life manifesting. It's part of predictions people made. I had no idea what they were talking about. I felt intimidated. Lots of stories about dreams, stories, medicine, language, my dream scarf. And now I understand this all. It's because it's the conference. And Project 30, there's 30 of us. Who are you? I don't know who the other 30 are. Like, you're probably one, Michael, but like I don't know who the other 30 are. I know I'm one. So who are the other 29? Because Project 30, if there's 30 of us. So we do stuff like this. We host conferences. We really promote the story medicine, and we promote the soul tribe, the greater community that we all belong to. And so creating safer spaces to share story medicine is a very raw reality and very necessary because, you know, for people like us talking like we're talking, it's not a big deal. But for a lot of dragon dreamers out there, and myself included, I can't even talk to my own family about this kind of stuff. It just doesn't resonate with them at all. And sometimes we end up fighting about things, and it's just better not to talk about it. But then who do I talk with about it? And when I was growing up, I didn't have anybody. We grew up Roman Catholic. So, you know, it's easy to open up a can of worms. But you know what? When you face your truths and the world around you doesn't make sense anymore, and people tell you that you don't make sense anymore, that's very scary and traumatizing in itself. And trauma, it doesn't matter what the example is. Whatever the trauma is, it's trauma. So never undermine trauma. What might be trauma for me, the exact same example might not be so traumatic for you. It is always a case-by-case scenario, and any kind of trauma throws off our senses. So if you're like me and you wear contacts, I can almost guarantee you saw something either in waking life or in a dream that did not resonate with you. So your mind's number one job is to protect you, so the vision gets blurred. But what ends up happening is your other senses heighten. People who are hard of hearing can almost guarantee you heard something that did not resonate with you. It caused trauma, so now you're hard of hearing. But your other senses try and compensate for that. So it's important that we have these conversations and that we find healing through these story sharing methods, because you know what? There's a time and a place for medication. And that time and place is always temporary, because this is the real medication. And I like puns. I like playing with words. So I like how the word script is in prescription. And story medicine, in my strong opinion, is one of the best prescriptions out there. We demand ceremony. We demand rites of passage. We demand the hero's journey. That damn triangle of disempowerment, don't get me started on it, but for what it's worth, the conscious mind demands the logical part anyways, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And so things like themes, archetypes, symbols, all of this, the setting, the conclusion, we require this. And the hero's journey is never over, it alchemizes, right? So I'm very passionate about what I do, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be in full effect in my new matrix. And so I just feel ecstatic. It's really coming together. And so on Saturday, this Saturday, the presenters and I and Michael behind the scenes, we're going to be live, and it'll be on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe and like and turn the notifications on, show me some love, share, do all those things, and say hi to us. But we won't be presenting on Saturday. We're just going to make sure that, you know, we can hear each other. Something I really like is my microphone, but I think I might do no microphone. So I don't have to keep flip-flopping the microphone so you can hear my rattle. I want to use my rattle throughout the day, and just stuff like that. But then next Saturday, if you want to join the conference, you need to buy a ticket. So you can do that on my Buy Me a Coffee. The link is there in the comments. And thanks, Michael, for bringing that up. And in my friendly suggestion too right now is there's a membership called ISIS Unity Consciousness, and it's more affordable than the ticket. And as a bonus, you get the link to the conference. So definitely worth checking that out. And of course, if you want to send me more money, hey, you just send me more money. That's no problem at all. And if anybody out there is interested in being a part of the conference, whether you want to help Michael monitor behind the scenes, help out with technology, maybe you would like to be a speaker, please get in touch with me. I'm hopeful to have an in-person conference next month, July, but I really don't know. Rosie, my cat, and I, we are looking for housing, but something to definitely look forward to. So just to rewind for a moment, the summer conference that's in person, every year it's going to be pending. That's just a reality. The 4 online conferences, those are guaranteed. So it's another good reason to get in on the membership, Project 30, ISIS Unity Consciousness. And I just got a little cheat sheet here, but did I remove my cheat sheet? No, it's right here. So the next conference will be September 19th. It's called Falling Consciously. And then the 4th one will be December 12th, Season of Dreams. So if you're like me and you like to plan ahead and you're itching to be a presenter, check your calendar, check those dates, because those are already set in stone. Those fall on Saturdays. And I would absolutely adore for you to come hang out with us this Saturday live while we get our technology together. And I would love, love, love for you to join us next Saturday, especially knowing all the behind the scenes work and the emotions that the Dragon Dreamer presenters are going through. And even those who are not presenting, like Jason H. and Michael behind the scenes, and myself, I'm not presenting, I'll be hosting, but I feel the emotion too. And this is just all part of the anticipation. And it's one of the best medicines out there. Giving and receiving stories, giving and receiving medicine.
And talking about medicine, I actually have a question for you that was unscripted and not prepared for. And it's something that I feel like we never got to really talk about, but may help with the upcoming conference. And that is, what highlights do you feel resonated with you from the Promise of Spring conference? You got to unmute.
That's a big question, Michael. Things that resonated with me was the community building. We all felt a lot closer after that day. Promise of Spring was free. So throughout the day, more Dragon Dreamers came. My member engagement, it's gone up. I've got more members on Buy Me a Coffee. So I know that dragons are feeling the pull and they're coming towards us. And another highlight was opening sacred space and closing sacred space, and this business of us journeying into and out of the pine tree forest, because for me, it created an illusion that we're all going there together. So at the conference, when I'm talking to you, like, am I here in my room or am I in the pine tree forest? And really, it's the pine tree forest where on a spiritual, energetic level, we all go. And I found the demeanor of the presenters to be really phenomenal because of the anticipation and standards that I set, asking everybody to submit things a week in advance and doing the tech rehearsal, those kind of administrative behind the scenes, which a lot of people really don't know or appreciate unless they're a part of, are mandatory for a successful day. And so a real highlight for me personally from the administration end was when Promise of Spring officially began and the intro video was playing and I'm sitting here with my checklist. And then finally, I was the keynote, so I spoke. But then finally, the second keynote was speaking, which actually was Michael. It's like, whew, we are in effect. And I feel the unfolding. Maybe that's a better word to use, the unfolding. The highlight was the unfolding of the reality. And after the conference, it was a thrill the next day to share with each other the highlights. And I feel it's funny too, because nobody said anything, but at one point I did thank everybody for putting up with my crap, because I think my crap's pretty good to put up with, by the way. But you know what, like I was saying, presenters are not used to having like a due date or a timestamp or a designated window. Like, you only have 35 minutes to speak. And so in truth, you want to create a presentation that's maybe 25, 30 minutes at the most, because you want time to breathe and whatnot, right? So I know that as the date gets closer, people start feeling anxiety. They start thinking things like, Gina, why are you making us do this? But then, did it pay off? Yes. Was everybody relaxed on the big day? Yes. If the actual conference was this Saturday, would the presenters be freaking out? Most of them, yes. But because we're doing it in this style, it's going to be just like last time. And last time was key to setting precedents, so everybody knows what they're getting into, including myself. I know what it's like to buy a ticket for something and it's a complete shit show. I know what it's like to buy a ticket or even to attend something for free and it's a shit show for lots of different reasons. And I do have my high quality teaching career behind me, right? So hosting the Christmas concert, Welcome to K, the parent teacher interviews, like timekeeper, right? So this timekeeper business is interesting because when we talk about super space programs or shamanic training, whatever your spiritual autonomy is, we always feel very comfortable in timelessness. But all of a sudden, when somebody like me holds you to the second, literally, it can be really intimidating. And you can feel like your world closing in on you. And that's also a high quality item from my hypnotherapy training. If you've ever had a hypnosis session, I literally wear a watch and I'm watching the second hand and the second hand. The second hand and the minute hand is what I'm trying to say, because I'm waiting for certain points. And so this here is just setting precedents. So the next conference, carrying my own lessons forward, we have a conference Bible, so people can stay on track with due dates, what's due, and that kind of stuff. Because as an energy exchange, all the presenters and monitors involved, I offer a gemstone reading and host them on my show, Story Species, Story Medicine. So it's more than just the conference. There's lots going on. So planning ahead is key, and planning for hiccups like technology. The only thing that can hold us back is a national power outage, which did happen twice, to my knowledge, in London, Ontario. It happened once a few years ago, and it happened like a year after that. So, unless something like that goes on, nothing can stop us from having summer days. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just excited now, kind of over talking, to be honest. But the thing is that like, um, going back to my statements earlier, it's not just story medicine that we're providing for others. The actual presenters and monitors are providing each other with their own story medicine just by going through these motions, right? And then people like Michael, who presented at the last conference, are having conversations behind the scenes with other presenters. And you don't have to have like a PhD or something like that to be a presenter. I don't research my presenters, and that's the power of story species, story medicine. Because you know what? Who am I? Well, I'm just another person telling a Bigfoot story, right? I don't have any proof or evidence. Who's going to believe me? Especially when all my dreams are half remembered, half misunderstood, right? But when I speak, I'm speaking my truth. It doesn't need to make sense to me. It's a feeling that I feel, and I know that it's right, whether I understand it or not. And then it's powerful when somebody else does understand that. And so, in my book series, all of my content now is supposed to be merging together. This is all part of the Great Prediction. So seeing our reflections in each other in our story medicine, and I'm looking forward to a great day, and I'm really resonating in the fact that it's next Saturday, because this morning I just wrapped up the 5 videos for the break, right? So yeah, even on the break, we have things to look forward to. You're not obligated to watch the videos on the break, but you know what? Last time I provided little mini videos during the break, and they were a real hit. And you know what? For a 10-hour day, the chat was constantly flowing, people were connecting, and that was another highlight, actually. It wasn't just the chat in general, it was the whole day, because I was worried about that, maybe people getting bored, falling asleep, but everybody was engaged. And speakers who didn't have to do other things, they stayed for the whole day just because the energy was there in that sacred space. And so I really greatly appreciate it. There's always lots to look forward to. And it would be interesting in the future if I had somebody create 5 mini movies or not movies, but 5 little videos, like 3 to 5 minutes at the most, for the next 5 breaks for September, just to get more Dragon Dreamers involved. And it would be nice to have an executive committee if anybody out there is interested. So hi, people in the chat. I see you there, Skyloka and Iron Bear and Danny Hawk. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Well, and one thing I will mention before we go into the presentation, if we want to go there, is as you talk about building community, being in several communities online, you have people who are, you know, yes, we'll talk online. Then you have people who are like, oh, we can talk online, offline. Oh, we have people that, will only talk about this or that. And so, the community as a whole is still somewhat segmented. But what I find interesting with the Dragon Dreamer community, from my perspective and everything, is I am amazed at what topics Gina's bringing to the conferences. I was surprised in the first conference because we don't always know who's presenting along with us and what they're presenting. And so, that being said, I actually have a surprise for Gina of I have come across an author and he is excited to be on Story Species, Story Medicine. So I will be giving you his information. And so that's, to me, in essence, showing the trueness of the Dragon Dreamers community is I find people who are authors, and I even invited a lot of authors to this show to, point out to them that, if you're looking to promote your book, here is a great hostess who has a show specifically for that. And it's like, and I've been on there, I think now 4 times or 5, losing count, but it's a lot of fun. And she always gets deeper into the story than what's, normally on not conferences, but on interviews. And so I just wanted to share that with everyone of, we're not just saying community to say community, that it's a real thing.
Well, thank you for saying that. And that is a nice surprise because I'm always looking for guests. You don't have to be a published author, but if you're published, then in my strong opinion, you stand out from others because now you put your face and your name out there and your story is out there. And people who have been on my show, like Chris Latier, his story is banned from Amazon, and so this is another platform where he can get his message out. And through story sharing, I know somebody who bought his book on the website after seeing him on my show, and then they were taking an interest in Promise of Spring. So words like community, sovereignty, a lot of people use those words and they don't know what they mean. And so I appreciate you reiterating that this is a real, authentic community. You didn't use the word sovereignty, but it came to my mind because I was talking about healing with the land. And this is part of us being sovereign beings, making our own decisions, doing our own thinking based on our own conclusions while considering the perspective of others. And something else I wanted to mention too was the dragon speakers. They don't have a choice. They have to tell me like their name and their real face, because that's part of me and them shining their light and saying that I don't have anything to hide. This is me. This is my story. This is me being raw, being authentic, because the whole point of it is for us to see each other's reflection in each other. So some people who wanted to be at the conference want to use fake names. Well, okay, maybe like, Slavka, for example, Slavka the Natural Sentient. That's okay. Or something like, Julia Anchorhaven, whatever. But some people have like these other names, like, I can't even think of an example right now. And that doesn't work. That doesn't work because it doesn't bring it back to this reality. And some people who wanted to speak at the conference, they just want to have like a cartoon kind of avatar. And I had to say no. And they don't even want to speak at the conference. And so it's a testament to being the healed healer. So yeah, some of the presenters could get emotional. It didn't happen last time, but it could happen at any time. You just feel overwhelmed. You have a little crying spell, whatever. But that's why, because they don't have anything. They're not hiding behind a mask. And so if you want to be a presenter, you need to use your name and your real face. And you don't have to have a story officially published. But the idea is this is the first of those stories. And so somebody like Missy Hill, one of our dragon speakers, she's super excited to start writing stories. And I had a laugh with her because I'm like, Missy, you're already doing it. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, okay, how many talk shows do you go on? Talking is writing. So check the transcripts. There's your story. At least you can get a bank of your transcripts. So you have your thoughts there and you can play with that later when you have more time. And so she's like, oh, like she never thought about that. And so a lot of us, I feel like we live in a world today where it's more accessible to publish stories, to share your stories. And so there's a lot of hype right now, especially about artificial intelligence, which is something else that's interesting because some people are telling the most bullshit stories for whatever reasons to get attention. The AI is writing the story. And those people, it's not a coincidence. They're not at my conference and they're not on Story Species Story Medicine because I might as well have the AI writer as my guest, right? And so people who are receiving downloads and whatnot, like even myself, the struggle can be real to even remember what you wrote, but at least it's me writing it, or at least I used the AI to help me rewrite it to make better sense. So I feel like imposter syndrome is um, like my authenticity, me shining my light, and speakers like Michael shining their light is causing imposters um, to be jealous and stuff like that because it's like exposing the fact that they're lacking in authenticity, if that makes any sense. And so there's been a lot of bullying going on, if not direct bullying, just people blocking each other. And I feel it's because there's like authentic separating from authentic, going back to kind of what you were saying about community. So this is very natural, very normal. And I've been doing a lot of gemstone readings and whatnot just because that's who I am. But it seems like a lot of people have a lot of trauma bonds and blurred identity confusion. So this is a really good time to muddy the waters and to stir those waters so you can shake up your snow globe that you're in, if you will, and start seeing other communities just like the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, who we beckon you. We're calling to you. We've been waiting for you. We await you. And whenever you're ready to come dream with us, we're just itching to bridge our worlds that much more in this greater co-dream that we share. I mean, honestly, if the world needed anything right now, it's more hoping and more dreaming and more co-dreaming, collaboration, peace. We don't have to have it all figured out, and really shining our light on that authenticity. So I feel like everything I say kind of spider webs out. Which is another reason when I was the presenter, I still only had 35 minutes, just to throw it out there. I didn't get bonus time at my own conference.
No, but I tried and I didn't get it either. So, but, and one thing that was a little bit funny too was I finally figured out how to do the presentation. I was so proud and I sent it to her. And then I was like, oh, I need to revert it back on my end. And so I saved it on my end without the video. Well, somehow what I sent her, the video disappeared. So she was like, there's no video. And I was like, I sent you. And then I went and looked and I was like, oh no. So I had to do it over. And I actually kind of think it turned out better the second time I did it, honestly, because I think I was a little more
Yes.
rushed the second time because I was like, I got to get this done. It was a favor. I'm getting this extension because I didn't quite make the deadline because glitch that happened and learning curve. But I will say though, as much as you talk about like the strictness of it, as long as I found I was communicating with you, that strictness kind of fell to the wayside and became more okay, what can I do to help? How, what can we do to extend this? Okay, yeah, I'll give you 24 hours, extra time. And so I felt like because, you know, we were talking that a lot of the anticipation and the stress of meeting deadlines kind of fell to the wayside because we all understood we're new at this and we're figuring it out. And so I just wanted to throw that out there for, any potential speakers to come that as much as Gina's talking about, like, yeah, she's strict on this, this, and this, and she is, there is also a compassionate side that goes with it that says, okay, well, if you need more time, since we're talking about it, I can give you, this much extra time. And, you know, the key to that though also is don't expect it and don't like bank on it, because if you're procrastinating and you're like waited to the last minute and you're like, oh, I can throw it all together and you can't, she's gonna know. She'll get a sense of it and she may not give the extra time or as much extra time as others. And so just, it's always important to communicate and don't take advantage. That's just something I'll say for speakers.
Thank you for saying that. It's encouraging for other speakers who might be intimidated about putting together a PowerPoint presentation. The presentations vary. Some presenters, they have like a slide every 30 seconds. Some presenters, they just might have like one or two slides. Some presenters, they just have a background and then it's them talking and they might hold up an artifact, So yeah, as an administrator, I believe that part of the administration is making sure that everybody feels safe. The social emotional always comes first, but that social emotional environment is not some kind of soft setting where standards are lowered. No, that's just recognizing that we're real people, right? And I know from my teaching career, I used to make speeches all the time. I was heavily involved in the union. So I would do workshops with like 25 people. I'd make presentations in the gym in front of 300 teachers. I would go to the annual general meeting, the AGM. I did that 3 years in a row, speaking in front of 1,000 teachers, shitting bricks. It wasn't easy. So you really just can't prepare enough. And I had a little laugh when you were talking because it's like, yeah, it's true. Michael was trying to get bonus time. And I'm like, no, Michael, you get 35 minutes. And other presenters too, trying to sweet talk me to get bonus time. And it's like, no, you only get your 35 minutes because then I need time like to introduce you. I need time to thank you. We need time to get a few Q&As and it's over. It's like an hour's gone, right? And so it's just hilarious. But also I really can't say it enough that when you plan in advance and when you hit the record button to submit your pre-recorded presentation, how many presenters think to themselves, thank goodness that wasn't the actual presentation, because you talk too fast or you end up going on some tangent. You don't even stick to the script. And it's like, what just happened to your presentation, So that's very typical. People will plan a presentation, but then when the date comes, they forget about their presentation and they just start telling a random story. I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens. But it's nice to have that intention where you want to specifically talk about something. And so I required the titles and descriptions like a few weeks back now. And now the presentations are due. And also just so I can start letting the public know who's committed. So I'm always asking for the commitment from the presenters. And it's nice to have backup presenters too in case. And Rick Gallagher, he was playing the Singing Bowls, providing us with healing at Promise of Spring, was hopeful to present at Summer Days, but will likely be presenting in September. So kind of like Michael coming back, but in a different way. So there's always ways to get involved. We'd absolutely love to have you. And as the years go by, you know what, we can transform it into a 2-3 day online event. But I feel like having a 1 day, 10-hour day is a really nice way to find balance because a lot of people work and have commitments that they just can't make time for this. It's challenging. And knowing that it's seasonally, there's 4 a year, then every 3 months you have something to look forward to. You're going to be connecting with your community. So something I would like to see more of is more member engagement in the free Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. Dragons tend to be um, not shy, just some of them aren't overly chatty, and some of them, they don't shut up. So I'm hopeful that as the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective grows, that the Facebook group is going to have a bit more balance. And so I'm looking forward to everything. And I kind of wish it was next Saturday right now.
Well, and I will share, talking about community as well, that even though I'm behind the scenes on this conference, Gene and I were talking about, what we could do with the speakers, and kind of, introducing them or having like a panel where, they can share their ideas and what that would look like. And I was fortunate to have this show, and so we're collaborating. And so I will share with you all that the Wednesday afternoon after the conference, a few of the speakers will be on my show and we'll be talking about the conference and what they felt about it. And it's another opportunity, if you missed a question to them, you can bring it at the panel and we can ask it there. And Gina, of course, is going to be watching it. She was invited and was like, oh, I want the speakers to feel relaxed. And so she deserves a break too. And so I'm not going to hold her to the fire of being at every event as well. And so, but just know that, there are going to be little nuances like that of, watching this show, I make a point when I have a guest like Missy Hill was on, that in the description it identified her as a speaker to this upcoming conference. Julia Ankerhaven as well. And so I am blessed to, be able to collaborate and share, you know, people to get to know them in advance. And I wish I could have all of them on in advance. And I think I probably am only missing one. And so she'll be either after the conference or we'll see with the panel, how that goes. But just know that, it's just another way of showing the community is, we collaborate and we support each other. And I got nothing but love and respect for Gina and what she's doing. And so I am excited to be volunteering and, helping out behind the scenes. And one thing I will share that I haven't even told Gina though was we were talking about me speaking as a speaker for the first conference, and then she goes and like messaged me and was like, hey, all the speakers get this special time with me of this gift, and I won't spoil what the gift is. I will let you all figure that out for yourselves by being a speaker. But I thought it was a really nice exchange of our time versus, you know, her showing appreciation for it. And so there's a lot that goes on with these conferences that people are unaware of, and there are ups and downs along the way, but it's worth it. And I have to say, I that was my first speaking, like actual speaking about a topic, and it felt so relaxed and everything, and I was like so at ease with it. And then I was like, yeah, as soon as it was over, I was like, I was pumped and ready for the next one. And I was like, hey, let me know, what do I, and so that's the gift of Gina. And so I
Oh,
just
well,
wanted
thank
to
you
share
for
that.
that. Yeah, and the gift, I spoiler alert, I've already been telling people, but as an because I'm not there yet in my journey to pay for the presenters, but I let the presenters know that I would like to buy them dinner at some time, have an in-person conference, kind of like a reunion, Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, get everybody together, which is another reason why I'm charging for the conferences. But the first one, Promise of Spring, will always be free. And there's a prediction in the book series that it's going to end up generating the most money because people just want to be in on the hype and they want to support all of this. They want people like Michael to come in person, so here's money to help support the plane ticket, the cost of food, the travel expenses, all of that. So in exchange, I offer the presenters one of my gemstone readings. It takes a good 45 minutes. And then, of course, all of the conversations that come with it. And it's really special. And I really look forward to it. And so do the presenters. And like Michael said, I try to aim to have the presenters on my show, Story Species, Story Medicine, before the conference, just so the audience kind of gets to know them a bit. And so, like Michael was saying earlier, I'm one of those people, it's been happening my whole life. People tell me things. And so on Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength, like people just really shine their light and the authenticity really comes out. And so that authenticity shines during the conference too. So it's going to be a phenomenal day.
It is. And so, if you want, is there any topics that you want to kind of say, hey, everybody, we're going to have someone talking about this on the upcoming conference? Any hints to what's going on, or you want to hold it for everyone to watch?
No, the secret is out. My PowerPoint here, I'm going to open that up. And just before I do, I want to show you my Buy Me a Coffee, which is open. Oh, where did you go now? There you are. Okay, I'm going to screen share it to screen share. Okay. Where did my Buy Me a Coffee go? Here it is. Okay. Let me pull this to the stage. Oh, it's there. Okay. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
All right. So this is my Buy Me a Coffee. And very quickly, if you go to posts, I post there pretty much every day. And so I've been posting regularly about the conference. And so in today's post, I was highlighting Michael. So you can come and dream live with Dragon Dreamer, Michael Kopp, June 13th, all day. And of course, right here now live with us. So each presenter has their own little special write up and Buy Me a Coffee. There's their biography, just a little one. And in Michael's situation, there's also a link for each presenter. Michael has a special message. All the Dragon presenters and monitors had to submit this to me. It was more homework, if you will. So dreams are the windows into events and memories we have forgotten. They are here to help us grow and see the truth of reality around us. Dreams bring hope and learning as well. So Michael's not presenting, but I'll show you the other presenters in a moment. This is just reiterating who Michael is. And you know what? Honestly, a lot of administrators don't give people behind the scenes any, they might just have their name in the credits. And so I really wanted to make sure people in the background are very much in the forefront. And so it was really important for me to highlight Julia Ankerhaven, Michael Kopp, and Jason H, because you won't see their faces. Julia will be presenting, so you'll see her face, but you won't see Michael's face or Jason H's face on the actual day. So these are some of the presenters, but again, I've got my my other PowerPoint there. So this is my Buy Me a Coffee. And when I promote Michael, I like to throw this in there. This is absolutely free. Michael's presentation, The Power and Mythos of the Hero's Journey. He's got it on his YouTube and Rumble. I'm not sure, Michael, but it's also on my YouTube as well. So you can
It's on Rumble.
Rumble, okay. So watch it, and on my YouTube, there's a special playlist called The Conferences. So you want to make sure you get in on that. The other thing I want to show you, in theory, I just got to pull it up here. Screen share is my PowerPoint. Here it is. Okay, so last time I went over this in great deal. And today I'm just going to, kind of scroll over the highlights. And I don't think you can see it, eh?
Yeah, I can see it. It's the two circles, okay. Project 30.
Perfect. Okay, I can't see it anymore. Okay, where did it go? Okay, there it is. All right, so this is all part of Project 30, ISIS, Unity Consciousness, all of my content merging together through dreams, half remembered and half misunderstood. And this is how we unite. The good guy, the bad guy, we're the same guy. There's a lot of raw themes like that in my book series, services that I offer, my Dragon Dreams movie medicine, now in the making with Michael and Jason H. helping me out. A big thank you to Jason H. for helping me to manifest this. I'm going to have to definitely have one with Michael in there, reiterating the story species, story medicine. Each month, we've got a monthly dream ecosystem to look forward to. There's my show on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, I go live. And of course, the conferences. This year, those are the other dates for the rest of the year. Again, the in-person for July is to be determined, but the other ones, those dates are set in stone. They're online. The first ever Promise of Spring, huge thank you to all the medicine bearers. Just like Michael, it was with much deep gratitude. The Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective really appreciated the medicine bearers because, like I said, it helped to set precedents for the future conferences and provided a lot of healing. So these were the presenters last time. Myself, there you can see Michael in the top middle, my good friend Brian Rue. Speaking about community, he could have spoke about anything. He asked me. I asked him to speak about community, and he did. He did a phenomenal job, as did everybody else, Chris Latier, Alex Lipton, and Suze Gallagher. So summer days, that's what this one is called. There's a start time and end time. You can get your tickets. These are the presenters, and this is in the order from left to right that they'll be presenting. And our wonderful Dragon monitors, tech assistants, that this is, I think, what Michael was wanting to look at. So Laura Ferguson, also known as Starseed Lolo, her presentation is called The Starseed Template. Oops, sorry there. Okay, The Starseed Template, We're All Awakening, Realization of Awakening Synchronicities. So it's a really great presentation. Laura's also going to be providing us with some tuning fork healing, and I'm really looking forward to that. So she also she wrote and produced a song for the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, my show on Tuesdays, Story Species, Story Medicine. She created the intro, outro for that. And the 2 mini movies, I'm using 2 of her songs. I've got her permission. One is called The Dragon, which if you go to Laura's website, you can buy it right now for only $1. And then I forget the date, but it's very soon. It'll be released to the rest of the public. So you want to get in on that kind of stuff. And the other one is that I'm using for Lushing is called Dark Night of the Soul. And you can find that on Spotify. So Laura is going to be our featured speaker. Our keynote speaker, which is pretty much the same thing, but Sheila's only doing a presentation. Sheila's presentation, We Are All Connected, the How and the Why presentation, an odyssey of science, mysticism, and lived experiences that spans from the cosmos of the human heart. And Sheila's better known as Sheila's Spiral Sister Murray, or you just call her Spiral Sister. She just published yet another book. She's got a number of them. She also produces her own music, and Sheila and I already talking about the next conference and mini movies using some of her music as well. Her and her husband have countless songs that they've created. And today, actually, if you're not doing anything, I don't remember if it's 4:30 or 5:30 Eastern, but Sheila is going to be on Julia Anchorhaven's show. And so going back to community, it's all coming together. So it gives people like Sheila and people like Soma and Laura who really enjoy channeling. They can do that on Julia and Michael's show or on my show, Story Species, Story Medicine, but not the conference. And so it's just a real win-win situation all around. And speaking of Julia Anchorhaven, here she is. And her presentation is going to be very powerful, anchored in shadow strength, the whispers of remembrance. And she's going to talk about her experience, an SSP Super Soldier Program experience talk about subtle signs, paranormal experience, and her own journey of discovering that her whole entire life she's felt targeted, handled, and that she's multidimensional, making sense of it. And so her presentation is going to be really powerful because how many people out there are going through these exact motions that Julia's going through, you know, and there's so much vulnerability in finding people without losing ground. You got to lose ground to gain ground without completely losing yourself, right? And so very vulnerable of Julia and all the Dragon Dreamer presenters to be shining their light. Soma, the Pleiadians, it's so funny. Like she sent me her pre-recorded video and she starts talking, but then all of a sudden she starts channeling because the Pleiadians have something to say. And so I said to Soma, I said, look, you can tell the Pleiadians that I'm going to take the time to watch this video. But at the conference, the Pleiadians are not like channeling because it's not about the Pleiadians. It's about Soma, the biological one. And so we had a little laugh about that because, like, you know, she's going to talk about how in her life, when she was a little girl, she had trauma. I don't know if she'll go into the details of the trauma, but all that matters is that she had trauma and it awakened a communication that she always had with the Pleiadians. And so a lot of us who are having communications with Pleiadians or whatever ancestor, spirit guides language you're using, I put the categories to the side. This is going to be just another powerful presentation, especially for a lot of youth, because a lot of youth more and more seem to be going in this direction. And so here in North America, it's still very taboo, but the East and the West are bridging. Slavka, the natural sentient, going to be speaking about learning self-love through the wisdom of wounds. And so she's going to be talking about emotions, trauma release, healing. I like the language, soul shrinking, and how to avoid self-sabotage. So this is all stuff that personally relates to the presenters. Missy Hill, another powerful presentation to look forward to because she does this interesting thing. Well, she doesn't even try. It just happens to her. She drives around in her big 16-wheeler. She's a truck driver and starts picking up on information about the land and also starts to understand how to heal ley lines and does grid work. And so how many people out there are just like Missy that they don't know that it's called grid work. They don't understand the land is talking to them. So this is going to be really powerful because it talks about her experience, the day that changed her life on the road. And she talks about her cats as well. And as I mentioned, Michael's not presenting or Jason, but there we are. This is the schedule. It is set in stone. So the beginning is always a little bit wonky, but at 9:30, Laura goes live. So I got to make sure I'm checking off my list. Last conference, I had a laugh because I actually found myself slipping into timelessness when I was opening up Sacred Space. I forgot that I was live. So I had to refocus. And, it's just funny to think about that kind of stuff. So,
well, and I was going to say something I want to point out for everyone. another way of saying community, we have, and when I say we, I mean Gina has speakers. Julia is in the UK. Soma is in Ireland. And Gina's in Canada. A lot of us, are probably in the US, around the country. So, I mean, this is a great opportunity to hear globally, actually, people sharing their stories in a unique way to where everybody is on screen, and it's a little bit different than if they were, in person being there, but it's hard to globally unite everyone with travel the way it is right now. And so this is a really great way of being able to see and experience different areas of the world. And so I just wanted to showcase that. And if I missed any countries, Gina, I'm sure will share, where they're from.
I forget where Slavka is from. Is it I forget, Slovenia? But she
Slovakia.
Slovakia, thank you. So there's another country, and then Sheila, Spiral, Sister Murray, Missy Hilder from the U.S. and from different states in the U.S. So we're really all over the place, and this is really important because with the internet, it's too easy to forget. But there was a time before the internet, and there was a time before telephones where people from all over the world, different religions and belief systems, were telling the same stories. And so we are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, wiser than before. And so we're sharing our stories. And I'm getting like goosebumps as I'm telling this, because it's true, and somebody out there needs to hear it. And I think like to me, when I'm speaking, I don't have an accent, right? But to somebody else out there who's never heard a Canadian speak before, you might think, oh, she has a bit of an accent, a dialect. Well, that's how I feel about somebody like Soma or, Sheila. She has a bit of a Southern accent, even though she lives in the States. And I find that maybe it's because I grew up in North America, but there's like an authority that comes with the accent because it's like the voice of an ancestor. And I find that to be, I don't know if activating is the right word, but it gets the attention. So, in my opinion, using Soma as an example, because clearly with her Irish accent, she sounds very different than a Canadian, right? Or an American for that matter. So, when somebody like Soma is in Ireland speaking English, but speaking with an Irish accent, it just is normal, right? But then to take that English language and have an accent here in Canada, it's like, I don't know, it stirs something in me. There's something mysterious about it. It makes me want to connect more. And so just the voice of the presenters, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is carrying an energy, and it's carrying the whole country with them, whether they intend to or not, like the whole mind, body, spirit aura, all the ancestors coming with them to share their stories and awakening those different parts in ourselves through our greater oneness. So I just keep picturing like a big spider web there. So yeah, I'm really thankful and looking forward to the conference. There's much to be said about it. And after the conference, I'm looking forward to people hosting me on their shows to talk about other stuff like my gemstones or my books. But right now, this is like part of me is tired of promoting the conference, to be honest. But I know after the conference, anytime anything wraps up, there's always a sense of loss. Like because like you're together all the time and then it's over, right? And so that's another reason why seasonally these conferences are important, because you know that they're going to be continuous, and if you can't make one, well, you don't have to stress out. You know that there's going to be another one coming, right? So really,
Or in
looking
your
forward.
case, 3. But yeah, and you're always welcome on my show, so we'll just have to schedule something up.
Yeah, and so I got my gemstones here. If you want to sneak in, I can do a collective gemstone reading. I won't have time to do individual, but is that okay with you? Just do a collective for everybody?
Sure.
Okay. So my gemstone readings, I used to do them just so folks out there know. I'll take my screen share off here and bring my computer down so you can see the gemstones. Just so people know, I used to do like so much stuff for free to promote myself, including my gemstone reading. The trouble that I was running into is that now people just, take it for granted and think I do everything for free. And so the gemstone readings are extra special. The Dragon Dreams Oracle, I do that often. I'll pull cards for people. But the gemstone readings, which includes the Dragon Dreams Oracle, is something that I'm limiting now to the public to really distinguish it from other services. And that's working. I feel every time I do a gemstone reading, it's like better connection. And just trying to get rid of my background. Okay, there, I don't have a background. So let me just put some flora on here. Oh, and let me just take my cards out. They're already mixed up. Every time I put them away, I mix them up real good. Okay. Oh, can you see me okay?
I can.
Okay. Okay. So those of you who are not familiar with this, I know you can't see my face. You want to see the gemstones. Michael, pick a number between 1 and 12 on behalf of the collective.
Actually, I asked the collective, and the collective came up with 3.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you, collective, and thanks for being on it, Michael. Okay. Getting like a up and down energy. My eyes are closed, by the way. Horizontal kind of energy. And something is here. Okay, my eyes are open. Oh, okay. So, and the number 3. Okay, can you see all the gemstones okay?
We can.
Okay. So, I'll just get my little pointer here. So the first thing that stands out to me is hummingbird. Hummingbird is in alignment. Hummingbird should be right there, and hummingbird is right there. So anybody who has high quality items, woohoo, your high quality items are shining bright. And this is a collective reading. I know I'm feeling that too. So keep shining your high quality items. If you're listening to this and you're like, what the hell is she talking about? Like think about what's making today a good day for you, because there's something high quality in there. Okay. Perspective.
Gina?
Yes.
We actually can't see the hummingbird. I thought we saw them all, but I didn't realize
Okay.
there was some off to the side. There we go.
Okay. Can you see?
We can see now.
Can you see my right hand? Okay. So hummingbird is right here. This gemstone there. Okay. This is the north, by the way, if you're interested. So high quality items are in check. And the other thing that stands out is perspective. Eagle condor. Eagle condor should be in the east. Eagle condor is in the east. So that's awesome. And the other thing that stood out was this one here. Nothing should be in the middle. So anything in the middle means pay attention to me. And so this one here is the committee of the ones who listen. And the communication is that you need to listen to yourself because your perspective is correct. Your heart is in alignment. Physically, you're in check, but the mental plane is getting stuck. Why? Because something to do with transformation. So you've got all your high quality items in check, but you're not transforming because you're not listening to yourself. So why aren't you listening to yourself? What do you need to hear? What does the committee need to hear? The committee wants you to know that they're always listening. So, when you're saying your prayers and you're like, is anybody even listening to me? Like, they want you to know, yes, you're being listened to. Are they going to do anything about it? No, that's not how the committee of the ones who listen work. Their job is to listen. They're like recorders, recording all the information, like a sacred witness. And they want you to know, like, seemingly they don't do anything, but they take in all that information. So when it comes to feeling validated, they get you because they've been listening to you your whole life, even before that. When it comes to the truth, they know the truth because they've been watching and listening. They specialize in the listening department. And sometimes they stop listening because it's like you're a broken record. But they're saying, keep that record playing. Keep the record playing and even turn the volume up, because whatever song you're singing right now is a high quality item. And speaking of songs, this is where the story medicine magic comes together. Right here, this one is the representative of the Wise and Well Whale and Orca elders. So transformation, it's not happening right now, but it is on its way. This is like a roller coaster. So this is the part where it's like, there's anticipation. Oh, can you see that? I keep moving my computer on you. Okay, so this one right here, they're going to be making their way around. So the thing about the Wise and Well Whale and Orca elders is they harmonize your song. So whatever thoughts you're having or goals you want to manifest, whatever you're thinking, positive or negative, they're going to harmonize that. So you really want to focus on the high quality items so they can help you harmonize that. And knowing that the committee of the ones who are listening, and based on what I just said about like turning up the music and keeping the record playing, this to me is very much in alignment. And the dog monkey folk, they're always like telling you how to do it, or they do it for you. And this one is the dog monkey folk, and they're communicating like, let the high quality items guide you. That's how. And the Wise and Well Whale and Orca elders, if you're worried about like, well, I don't know how to make a song, I don't know if I'm communicating correctly, don't worry about that. The Wise and Well Whale and Orca elders will create like an orchestra for you and figure it out. So you just don't worry how it sounds. Even if your song sounds like crap right now and it doesn't make sense, they're going to make sense out of it for you. But there's an emphasis on positive thoughts. And let me look at this one closer. Yeah. So it seems like when it comes to negative thoughts, collectively, we're like on it. When we get a negative thought, we're like, no, I'm not going to let that negative thought rule my life. I'm not going to let that negative thought rule my day. Keep thinking that, because your mental plane is a little bit stuck right now. And if you start going in the negative thought zone, then it's probably going to be staying stuck, which is probably why Jaguar's over here. The mental plane, it will make its way around the medicine wheel and become, but just keep singing your song. What else stands out here? There's one of Polaris's horns. Here's the other one. Polaris always wants us to have focus, and there's like a triangle shape here. So we get into binary codes, ones and zeros, black, white, penis, vagina, opposites, that kind of stuff. And Polaris is making a big triangle here with hummingbird. And the triangle pointing up is representative of masculine energy. So even if you identify as female, this is a masculine energy that's communicating this. And eagle condor is looking up. And when I think about looking up, I think about the metaphor father son, because the sun is in the sky and we always look up. And condors on a literal level, they don't fly until about 10 o'clock in the morning. They require, their bones need to heat up a little bit. And then the thermo energy in the air is what helps their big giant wings stabilize. So we're being reminded about patience, kind of like the timing of things, father, son being the time. Now I'm working with metaphors, but a lot of people do have a belief that the son is the father and that the sun penetrates, and again, working with metaphors here. So this is a very hopeful gemstone reading. And let's pull a card. Oh, and snake is in alignment. So we've got 3 out of the 4 power animals in alignment. And the one jaguar that's not in alignment is basically just reiterating that it's going to be okay. You know, the power animals aren't always in alignment. It isn't like, it's not like a bad day if they're not in alignment, but it's how they work together. And so thinking about the sun, jaguars, they track daytime, nighttime, but working with metaphors here, jaguar is like a nighttime creature, and the eagle condor is like the daytime creature. So we're being inspired to look up, to focus on the daytime in connection with the sun is the communication coming to me. So that's really cool. And I'm going to pick a card here from the Dragon Dreams Oracle. And my right hand wants to pick. Okay, fine. Right hand is symbolic of the masculine. Ooh, and my middle finger wants to pick the fire. Something here. Which one?
Well, we are in the year of the fire horse.
I didn't know it was the fire horse. I just thought it was a horse. Okay. This one here, and then a few of them fell on the floor, which means I got to show you them. So this one is breath of life. Yeah, maybe it's better if I just go like this. See that okay?
Yes.
I think maybe my laptop shadows it. Okay, so breath of life. The first thing that we do when we're born is breathe. And the last thing that we do right before we die is breathe. And so we're being reminded to breathe. I know it sounds cliche, but it's like you really need to breathe. You need to replenish all the oxygenated, deoxygenated blood, keeping those systems in flow. And what did I write? The first thing we do when we're born is breathe. The last thing we do before we die is breathe. Breath of life. So if you're feeling like, maybe you're feeling like you're being choked or something like that, like remember, think about the high quality items. Right now, it seems like things are flowing for us as a collective, and let the wind carry this music is the message coming to me. The voices get carried in the wind, the wise and well whale and orca elders. You know, when you meditate and journal, a message is coming to me right now. Read it over out loud. And if anybody out there sings, sing it out loud. And this is going to help with that breath of life and this business of the air, the wind carrying the message. And it makes me think about my comment earlier when I was talking about the East and the West bridging together, because I didn't say it out loud. Maybe I did, but I remember in my mind, I was thinking the East wind and the West wind shaking hands together. Okay, what else came here? So usually I just pull one, but if they fall on the floor, I'll show you what I have. This one here is about multi-dimensionaling up your space. So be creative. For example, there's a bunch of little pictures on here. When I meet with my spirit guide Manus, I go to my living room because I pretend that I'm going to Manus's, and that's where he lives, in my living room. When I meet with Jaguar, I go to my bedroom because that's like the Jaguar's den, the safe place. So somebody out there needed to hear that. This one here, an ongoing toolbox. When we have a good day, we don't tend to think about our toolbox. But when we have a bad day, a lot of us make bad decisions. So if you have a toolbox, that happens to the best of us. You want to create your toolbox before you have a bad day, and knowing that we're being reminded about high quality items, like what makes you happy? You know, wearing high heel shoes, putting on a swimsuit, going to the beach, putting on some black basics, taking a burlesque dance class, burning incense. It doesn't have to be anything over the top. Reminding yourself about movies that you like to watch. Like, I really love the first Jaws movie, but do you think I remember to watch it when I'm looking for a movie to watch? No, you know, so just stuff like that, you know, add it to your toolkit. If you want to put a bottle of booze in there, put a bottle of booze in there. But know that, you know, you're not hitting the bottle all of the time. And this is like medicine, for example, you know. And you might even want to put money in here in your toolkit. So when you're having a bad day, you know what? You got 20 bucks in your toolkit. Go to the dollar store, buy something that strikes your fancy, you know. Just knowing that you have $20 might make you feel reassured. Maybe you don't even spend it. But we're being reminded about that. 2 more cards that fell. Fake it till you make it. So this is really in alignment. So a lot of children, I was a public school teacher for 20 years, rather than spelling a word incorrect, they just don't even bother spelling it. Or they'll use like a different word, which takes away from what they were trying to say. So when I think about what I was just saying about the wise and well whale and orca elders helping you to make sense of your song, help you get it together, then to me, that's what this means. So it says, I forget what it says, something about bears. It says that bears are brown, beige, black, and white. Bears are very special. I love bears, but you can see I spelled bears wrong. I spelled special wrong, but you still get it, right? Yeah. You might not be able to read every word. So when you're doing spirit work and whatnot, apply this concept, inventive spelling, inventive shamanism. You just fake it till you make it, and you do what you feel is right for you. This one here, the last one, the food web buddy system. So this is a metaphor. So you know the good old food web, like, you know, the rabbit eats the grass and then the bear eats the rabbit. Well, this is just another food chain food web. The praying mantis and the frog gobble up the snake. The bird gobbles up the snake. And there's also a picture here of 2 triangles. And when you put the 2 triangles together, they make a star. So we're being reminded that we're each a piece of the puzzle. We're each a triangle. And when we come together, we make stars. Now, working with metaphors, because this might sound really freaky to some people, but let's say my spirit guide is fly, which it is. And let's say Michael's spirit guide is frog. I don't know if it is. Do you know if it is, Michael?
No, I actually have all the animals, but I've never actually worked with frog yet.
Okay, so if your spirit animal is frog, like one of your dominant spirit animals is frog, and mine is fly, well, you know what? I don't want to go talk to Michael because that's scary for me, because he might gobble me up. I'm a fly and he's a frog, right? But the thing is, the frogs take care of the flies, because eventually the frogs are going to be eating the flies, right? So it's in the best interest of the frog to help create an environment for me where I can thrive. So metaphorically, if I need advice or something like that, being a dominant fly spirit guide folk, if you will, and I need advice or something like that, then I can go to somebody like Michael who has the frog energy. And then someday he will gobble me up. But when he gobbles me up, it's like I'm ready to die anyways. And if I'm going to die, well, I might as well provide food. So you got to be mature with these metaphors too. It's not like he's going to gobble me up because he's being mean and violent, you know? So yeah, there's lots of sexual metaphors and lots of food chain type metaphors too. And that's all that's coming to me. So thank you for that. That was an amazing gemstone reading. And,
and
really
real quick,
powerful.
real quick, I'll say too, with the animal kingdom, like fly and the frog, you know, a lot of people are like, yeah, why would the fly go visit the frog when the frog's going to eat the fly? But the frogs keep the flies in balance, and the flies keep the frogs in balance, and that's how nature works. Is they keep it so that one doesn't become too many, and so they're the equalizer, the balancers. And humans are the only animals, in essence, we forgot about the balance, and we will overeat on one, undereat on another, and so that's where we are today, is trying to learn the balance of, you know, both sides, and so we can return to our natural state. And so yeah, it's like James is saying, it's give and take. It's all about balancing and being, you know, one with everything, and not viewing it as, oh my god, you know, he's gonna kill me. No, he's just keeping the numbers right. It's nothing personal. There's no agenda. It's just the natural course. So
the greater cycle that we all belong to. And I love when like clients that I work with do exactly like Michael did. Like they have their own 2 cents, right? And so anytime you see an oracle, somebody like myself, like we just say what comes to us, but ultimately we're the village idiots. We have no idea what we're talking about. The power is in simplicity, and whatever we say, the client resonates with and understands. So it's always interesting when people are like, oh, how did you know that? And it's like, I don't know, the gemstones, that's where they fell, you know, and I made sense of it. Or people are like, that really resonates with me. And I'm like, good, because then it helps me shine my light more on this. I used to be shy to do these gemstone readings in the public. And I'm just reading some of the comments now. So I see James there. Yeah, the unfolding of the gemstone reading is interesting. And I used to feel so insecure because when I first started doing live readings about 2 years ago now, well, about a year ago, I started doing it live. Or 2 years ago, yeah. But 3 years ago, I was just doing it with people like randomly. And I would swirl them around, and then it's like, okay, I need a minute here. But now I have my routine down a little bit. And I don't know if Michael already showed these comments or not, but James is saying, Wizard Whitticus, the sun is the main step down transformer in our solar system. Okay. And you see that goes in alignment with my comment about Jaguar. It's not nighttime for us right now. We need to be in the sun, and that sun will transform the Jaguar, because the Jaguar is all about transformation. So yeah, that resonates with me. And then he's commenting some ganja. Yeah, pass it to the left, James. It's legal here in Canada. Come visit me here. And then people saying, thank you, you're welcome. Terry, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, the great circle of life. Yes. Yeah. So, any final thoughts? It's already past 3, right? Like time flies when you're having fun. But like I was saying earlier, if anybody out there is looking for a guest, keep me in mind. And at this time, I'm promoting the conference. I'm happy to do a mini gemstone reading like I just did now. But after the conference, it would be nice to promote my books, talk about the stories, a bit more archetypes, and spend a little bit more time doing some pulling cards from the Dragon Dreams Oracle. And then before you know it, it'll be August and I'll be presenting the September conference and doing this all over again. And I'm sure Dragon speakers will delight in coming on Michael's show as well. And kind of bouncing between Michael and Julia Anchorhaven's show and then my show, getting exposure. And then it's just a really beautiful thing unfolding.
It is. And so my final thought would be is just for people just to remember, June 13th, you don't need to watch the whole conference. If one person that's speaking resonated to you higher than the others, you're welcome to watch that one. You're welcome to watch, all of them as well. There's no mandatory requirement. There is we would like you to enjoy all of them, but we know time is of the essence, so to speak. That we use that term a lot. And so, tune in, to what resonates with you. Stick around if you can, or if you have free time, watch the whole day. It actually flows really quickly. It will seem like we're just getting started and we'll be pretty close to wrapping up if it runs like Promise of Spring did. So it's going to be a smooth day.
And it will. It's going to be a smash hit success, just like Promise of Spring. I've got my administration notes all printed out, and it's going to be great. And I appreciate you saying that, because a lot of people are stressed out. They're like, what, a 10-hour day? I've got kids. I got to work. I got to do this. I'm having company over. You know what? Like Michael said, look at the schedule. It's there. It's set in stone. Catch what you can catch. The replay is the same link, and the replay will be available for purchase after the conference. So we're really going to be honoring the presenters, and I'll be making shorts and little videos of the conference for free to share. But the actual video won't be available until December 21st. It'll be released to the public absolutely free. But in the meantime, we're asking you to show us some loving, to buy a ticket. And if you want to send me more money, please do. And the money goes towards all the behind the scenes administrative fees. And like I said, sure, it'd be nice to buy the presenters dinner at some point. So when you support me, you're supporting a good cause and the Dragon Gym Soul Tribe Collective. So thank you so much, Michael, for having me on your show. And
yes,
I always talk a million miles an hour because there's just so much to share with you, and really appreciate your time and our riding through the unknown community, RTTU. I had to think there for a second what it was called. I was going to say RUT. And the energy that surrounds us, community as well. I know you're tuning in. Thank you so much for that.
And one thing I will say, like here in America, a lot of places will say donate to us, and 2% goes to the actual cause, and the rest is all administrative costs and the salary of everybody that's running the company. So know that when Gina says, donate here, you're going to be donating 100% towards Gina. And if she says donate to the conference, it's 100% to the conference. She's not going to go buy a car off of the donations and be like, thank you guys, I'm going to go get steak dinner now out of you guys. No, it's your donation is going to go exactly where she says it's going to go, 100%. So there is that added. I just wanted to share because I know I'm not sure in Canada how it works, but here in America, we kind of need to stipulate that sometimes.
It's the same here in Canada. You donate money and it's like only 1 or 2% goes towards the actual cause. But everything, like I don't get paid for anything that I'm doing here. The gemstone readings that I do, that's all an energy exchange. And I do believe in energy exchange, but at some point there needs to be a good old fashioned MONEY, you know, or even if somebody wanted to provide me with an annual Canva membership or something like that, because that's what I'm using to make the thumbnails and whatnot. And so it's all about the community. And hi, Laura. I saw you there. You were highlighting your music earlier, Starcy Lolo, in the comments. So it's going to be a phenomenal day.
Yes, and you can always catch every 2 weeks. Starseed and I will say on the energy that surrounds us. You got me now thinking which show. And we do channeling sessions for a half hour, and we actually have one coming up next week, I do believe, if my schedule's correct. And if I'm not, Starseed will let me know, and we'll but I do believe it is, so I can double check. Yes, the 9th is a channeling session, so do tune in and see, there she is. Yes. So tune in for that as well, and we look forward to seeing you all at the conference. And until then, have a blessed day, blessed week, and have a great life. And kind of lost my train of thought there, in all honesty.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate coming on here. And James, I look forward to seeing you there too. James was one of the Dragon Dreamers that ended up joining us last conference for the whole day. And that was just part of the magic, you know, people who never even heard of us, just scrolling through YouTube, Facebook, oh, what's this about? And completely resonated with us, right? And so if you see me on Facebook, add me as a friend, join my Dragon Dream Soul Tribe community. Follow me on Buy Me a Coffee. It's free to do that, and absolutely would love to see you there. So thank you so much. And hopefully people won't get tired of us, because, you know, even like Laura's going to be channeling on your show, and then we're going to be getting together again. And, you know, so.
Oh, we had a last minute question pop in.
Do you do light language? Depends what you mean about light language. Some people think light language is music. Some people think it's like actual red, orange, yellow, green color language. The language that I do is stone people language. So the gemstones communicate to me, and I have patterns that I look for, and this is the language, the medicine that's developed. And then I think, I shouldn't say I think, I feel on a deeper subconscious level that I speak a language where people, they like want to tell me stuff. They just, it's been happening my whole life. Like I have some kind of truth telling serum. And no, I don't spontaneously speak different languages. But when I'm doing my own like meditations, I make weird noises. And sometimes I just like start talking, and to me it makes sense. But I don't do that with other people. It's just kind of a Gina personal thing. And I don't do that all the time. But I am working on the raw zombie voice. I'm actually taking some voice yoga. I just started as part of my healing experience. So yeah. I've had so many different languages that I seem to be bouncing around in my head. Yeah. Well, telepathy is the universal language. So, you know, we've got that going for us.
Exactly. And so with that, we are going to say goodbye. Good afternoon. Have a great afternoon. Rest of the day. Blessings to you all. And Gina, from my heart and the heart of my shows to you, thank you for what you're doing for humanity. It's seen, heard, and felt, and so appreciated. And also, I'm going to say, as a special nod to you, thank you for sharing your authenticity. And so with that,
Thank you.
Yes, and so with that, we're going to switch to the outro and let everyone enjoy their day. Bye bye, everyone.